You know, Darius, for a guy who says he's waiting for the right girl, you fall in love all the time. I'm not in love. I haven't even spoken to her. I wouldn't dare just look at her. Is this a joke? I certainly don't see... Look for the girl with the glow-in-the-dark lace silhouette on her skates. Then watch her magic. I'd hate to say this, son, but I think you may be seeing things. She's incredible. I've skated around the rink for a good hour trying to pick out your hallucination. I'll prove to you she's real. Don't. You'll only embarrass him. My hearing is sharper than you may realize, Dad. I'm not embarrassed in the least. I've never even seen this girl before, and I can't understand why. Either your optimistic mind has created a vision of love at first sight, or she skates during our school hours. You described her as skating as magical and above normal. Likely she skates at DizzGo's a lot, just not when you'd be able to see her. That or she's from out of town, not to depress you. However, you're the only one of us who even sees her, which means you should be the one to talk to her. I tried, but, well... She was right beside me, and then she was skating backwards, and as soon as we made eye contact, my wheels stopped, the wheels on my other skate, and I fell in front of her. So did you introduce yourself to her? All I could manage was a thumbs up when she asked if I was okay. Are you? Yeah, just a little bewildered. When I stood, she'd already zipped around so swiftly, to follow would be dangerous. She's magical. I almost would rather she not be real. Well, you had your chance to talk to her, son. I don't know. I'll tell you later. To think such fairy tale creature could exist among such scumbags troubles me. You know, maybe Sage was right. You might just see her again if she's at DizzGo's when you have been in school. How old did she look? I don't want to put an age on her. That would be limiting. Were you the girl with the skates with the glow-in-the-dark lace silhouette on them and... I'm that boy who fell down that night, right in front of you. That's a first. No boy tried to impress me with that approach. I'm just being honest. If you don't think it was you that night, prove me wrong. Skate with me. You're asking me to skate with you. You stole my words. Wait, no, I mean... I wasn't going to ask if you'd ask me to skate. I'm going home. But find me tomorrow and skate? Mind if I ask what book were you reading? I wasn't reading anything. You. Who's it by? Your parents. Oh, right, of course. See you tomorrow. If you can find me. You're refreshing. You're the first boy to not try and touch me or get in my space. Been with any girls? What do you like to drink? I could get you something. Oh, water, no ice. Don't mention it. First, what's your name? I've been dying to know. I almost thought you were a figment of my imagination. I asked you first. I've dated, but I don't think that's what you're asking. My parents didn't say don't or no dating. It wasn't like that for me. They're an unusual couple with unusual experiences, and all it took was for them to tell me of the events before they found each other, which even then was kind of weird, and every time a girl wants me that way, I say no, because I don't want to get it wrong. Chloe. Chloe. I'm Darius. Darius O'Darren. Hey, Mom, you know how you used to put on gothic lipsticks and laugh about how they looked on your face? Chloe really cares about animals and plants, and she said when she found out her mother's favorite lip queller was coral, she cried because she thought it meant it was made from coral. When are you going to bring your girlfriend home to meet us? I don't know. Rudy, this is Chloe. You taught me how to skate. You may not remember me. I wanted to be like you. It's an honor to meet you, as it is to meet your husband. It's an honor for us, too. Darius has told us a lot about you. What do we do now? Would you mind talking for a little while before we start skating? Not at all, I'm just surprised. I know you're probably wondering how I can have such an old brother. Hey, I'm not old. I won't be old until the moment this goddess leaves my side. Never. Oh, impending makeout session I do not want to witness. Were you going to tell me how you were related? Our dad wasn't serious about women or relationships for many years before he met his daughter's best friend Violet when he was in his 30s. Darius is downplaying it. I mean, I understand he doesn't want you to be uncomfortable, but our dad was a player. He met Violet when she was 17, and they were undoubtedly interested in each other, but they didn't want to date until I found the love of my life because they were afraid I wouldn't be understanding of it, least of all my sister, but mainly I think they were afraid to guess how long it took. 5 years? 17 years. This is impossible, but I recognize you. Well, the other day, she was wearing a shirt that she said her mother made that had the DizzGo's logo all over it. Would it happen to read fan of DizzGo's cherry? Not to understate this, Darius, but I think I've had an awkward encounter with her mother 31 years ago. I'm not sure I follow. That's partly why I don't trust most men. With women out there like my mom, there are men like her out there. Believe me, she told me that story. It was really humiliating for her, but it didn't stop her hunting for a man. She had me before my father married her, but luckily he's opposite of the person she used to be. I guess kind of like what you said about yours and Darius's father. She found the one she'd be loyal to and never looked back. Darius, I'm sorry to leave you in the dark about it. Her mother was a huge fan and made an attempt to seduce me unsuccessfully years ago. I'll be right back, okay? Are you starting later in the day than normal? I'm confused. You didn't know he rented it for today? For you? Wow, okay. See, we updated it last night, the schedule. It was supposed to be closed today. This is special, him introducing us to you. No pressure. And it's got some creepy nostalgia for me hearing myself say it. Us, Darrens, having the father we grew up with, not to frighten you. We shied away from intimate encounters for some time. It sounds like you may be able to relate to that. Then the partnership of Violet and our father for Darius to grow up and come to understand all of that only exemplified his own fears of losing it to someone who wasn't the one. I can understand you saying you don't trust most men, but although he has dated plenty of women, his intentions are pure. He has never touched a woman in an untoward manner. There is no amount of money he could pay me for me to vouch for him here and now if it were untrue. His heart is in the right place when he looks in your eyes. This is me vouching for him. Really, It's like me. I dated and almost gave up, thinking there's no right fit, until I found her. And I wish every day that she'd been the first, but what matters is that when we got it right, we really got it right, like as parents. I'm happy for you, and I do trust him. It means a lot to me that he'd want me to meet his family. Oh, you guys, please, don't kiss. Why can't they? They came to dinner once at my house and started kissing, and I'm positive it lasted an hour. Do you really expect us to be sorry for that? Do you have your skates on, Glowworm? I will soon. So you don't mind me calling you that? It would be the first thing out of my mouth if I minded. Listen, I didn't only invite you here to prove I'm related to Rudy. I wanted to rent it out because I wanted you to know how I felt when I first skated with you. Before I fell, it's like everything is cleared and everyone else was only a haze, when I found you shining beyond them. You're real, and the feeling of this reality is fantastical. You might not believe this, but you know how some people don't put their past fascinations behind them? That's how I found things about DizzGo's cherry initially. My mom was trying to hide it, but it was in the garage, a full box, and I would look at everything there, pictures, advertisements, a few magazine articles. I was around 14. It was a while before I had to ask my mom about it. Please don't tell me you've been holding out for my older brother. He's married. No. And my mom told me anyway, but when I first saw you, it's like you described. There you were, nearly the spitting image of DizzGo's cherry, but close in age and close and real. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to help you up when you fell, but all I could manage was to ask if you were all right. Then I was embarrassed and felt like I missed my chance. Then as much as I wanted to skate with you, I felt like I needed to process it. I felt the exact same way. That's why I left the floor soon after, even though I wanted to skate with you. When I met you, I actually wasn't kidding when I said I wasn't reading an ebook. I had to play it off like I wasn't some creepy girl staring at you, and that's why I sort of turned it into a joke when I told you. I didn't know. And I'll admit, I was interested in hearing about your values because it matters to me, but also since you look so much like him, that I felt kind of bad about it because you seemed so nervous telling me. I was, but I'll never regret telling you. I had no idea you were actually not only related, but you're his brother. Is it bad that I feel happy that you feel that way and jealous of Rudy at the same time? You're much sexier, and anyway, I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you too. You know, people would also believe we're dating if you were in a picture with me. For a while, I've had an unshakable feeling we are. As have I.